Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Discover Your Who Masterclass. My name is Kimberly Woods, and I am the founder of Oh Freebird Fly. And I'm going to be your trainer today for this masterclass. And I have Jenna Schreiber here with me, and she is our community mentor, and that is what she's going to be doing today with you. So if you don't know who I am, or just a little bit of my background, I have been in business for about 15 years, and I have a background in just starting businesses and franchise development. And I also have a background in traditional church ministry. And so I brought the two of those together to Oh Freebird Fly, and just leading women to launch their business dreams with God. And I've been married for 26 years coming this April, and I have two young adult sons and a grandbaby who's one, and another grandbaby on the way in August. And so that's just a little bit about me. I have Jenna Schreiber here. Jenna, would you just tell us a little bit about who you are?
Sure. I'm so excited to be here today. So I'm Jenna. I am a brand photographer and business mentor and community mentor here at Oh Freebird Fly. And I own Together Studios, which is a workplace for creative business owners. And I've been in business for about 15 years, and I started out as a wedding and portrait photographer and transitioned into brand photography a few years ago. And I am married, and my husband and I have been married for over 10 years. We have 3 kids, and they range in age from 9 to 2. And we live in Maryland, so I'm not local to Kimberly in Florida, unfortunately. But we do love where we live. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm just really excited to spend this time with you all today.
Awesome. Thank you, Jenna. And we would love to know who you are. So if in the comments, if you would let us know if you have who you are first, and we would love to know, where you are in your business journey. Do you currently have an existing business, or are you kind of like in that dreaming stage and you're deciding what you're going to do? Or maybe you are in the middle of building a business that you're about to launch. So let us know in the comments just who you are, so that we can connect with you and know how to better serve you. So in this masterclass, we're going to take you through the process of discovering your who. And gaining clarity in who you're called to serve is a big foundational piece to starting and growing a business. If you already have an existing business and you're not confident in who you're called to serve, it's okay. And that can be a thing. Maybe you started a business and you were like, okay, I'm serving families, or I'm serving women, but you really feel like you need to fine tune it. Like maybe get down to a certain type of woman and a certain age group, that kind of thing. It's okay that if you have an existing business and you're kind of not fully sure. I know that Jenna and I have both been there, so it is not new to us. But you can start now. You can start now by fine tuning that with God, and we're going to help you do that. But if you are just starting out and you've never done that, you really are in a great place. I think I can speak for Jenna also, that we definitely wish that we knew these things before, when we first started businesses, right, Jenna?
Absolutely.
I know that we can both agree with that it's better to start out, but we also have both done it within having a business. So it can be done, okay? So we want to encourage you in that. So before we get started diving into really just the the meat of this masterclass. If you have any questions along the way, we would love for you to put those in the comments, and we will be answering those questions at the end. No question is ridiculous, too small. Every single question of yours matters, and we want to help you in gaining this clarity. So make sure to ask your questions, and we will help you and support you in this discovery. Another thing before we get started is take a moment to get your Discovering Your Who activation PDF. If you do not have that, you can go ahead and go to ohfreebirdfly.com/discover-your-who, and you can download it there. But you'll want to grab that because we have a activation at the end that is going to move you through the process of discovering your who, and you're going to need that for the activation. All right, so I want to bring on Jenna to share with you just some things that she's discovered along the way with really fine-tuning and gaining clarity in who she's called to serve and her experience with that. So go ahead, Jenna.
All right. Yeah, so I mentioned in my intro that I started as a wedding and portrait photographer. I knew that I loved photography and I was growing at that skill, but I was naturally pretty good at it. And so I was doing the right thing. I knew that my gift was in photography. And yet I didn't have clarity on who I was called to serve at that point in my life. And so I went with what the photography industry leaders suggested to do, and where I'll just be totally honest, I went where the money was. And so I built my business around weddings and portraits. And I did serve my heart out to those people during that time, but it got to the point where it was draining and made me very weary. And it was because I was not serving the group of people that I was called to serve. And so I built this business, and I knew I wanted to build it for God, but He really taught me how to do business with Him, not just for Him. And there's so many other details that go into this, but I had really been taught in my past about the way to find your niche is determining who your ideal client is, and then what kind of lifestyle you want to have. And you kind of work backwards from that. And I personally have a conviction as a kingdom Christian woman in business that that's actually a backwards way to do it in the kingdom, that we need to start from who we're called to serve and build our business on that, instead of it being focused on, well, what type of lifestyle do I want to have and what people will afford me that lifestyle. And I'm just being really raw and honest. I'm not criticizing any people that teach that in niching, but this is my personal conviction as a kingdom Christian businesswoman. And this is what we believe that we're called to teach on. So God revealed to me who I was called to serve, and that's creatives, both men and women, but especially focus on women. And it just it took a while, but seamlessly transitioned me from the weddings and portraits and into brand photography for other creatives. And because He really highlighted to me the struggles that they had and gave me solutions for them, and just a grace to be able to serve them because that's who He called me to. And so whenever this alignment started happening in my life and in my business, it just released God's favor on it. And I'm really I'm in the early stages of walking in that favor and grace and serving this group of people. And it's so fun and so fulfilling, even through all the hard things or the struggles that business can sometimes bring our way. It does not wear me out or make me weary, because I have such a heart for serving this group of people. And I also believe that being in alignment with who we're called to serve, and that being a part of our kingdom foundation in business, it puts our heart in the right place. Like I said, money's not the primary motivator or factor in building your business. It's servanthood. And then we can build everything else off of that so that we can have a sustainable business and life. And I believe that makes love and servanthood our primary motivator.
Angela, that is so good. Just a few things that you just touched on, but I've seen this process in Jenna's business. And so I've watched this like unfold and happen and the alignment happen. And, it's really amazing. And it's so incredible to just watch it happen. And so we don't speak from a place of not walking through those things. We speak from a place of experiencing that. And just, one of the things that you said, Jenna, was about the difference is that as kingdom women, there is a difference in how we discover these things. And I think that's a big key is that, yes, we can identify who we're called to serve, our niche and stuff like that through these different processes. And, but as kingdom women, God has given us a design. He's given us, people that we're called to serve, and that can actually change, throughout our life. But we don't know unless we discover with him. And so that really, that's what we're about here. And that really excites me. So I love Jenna's story, and it shows what is possible. And this is totally possible for you. So if you relate to that, and you feel just stuck and you feel like I just can't get there, just know that it's possible, and we're going to walk you through that process. So thank you, Jenna. All right. So I have definitely gone through my own process with discovering, who I'm called to serve. And I've been in business for a long time. My husband and he had an electrical contracting business, and I worked in his office and helped him. And, I started a franchise selling clothing, and we were really like geared towards selling to young adults. But my heart was to help women, help mothers, be able to afford their kids' clothing. And, so it was like really like serving family. And I started, these businesses, and I've always been an entrepreneur, but it's like I started a few network marketing businesses, and it was kind of like I really looked at just the product and what I was drawn to. And that's how I made the decision, especially like in network marketing. I was like, wow, this product is amazing. And I jumped on it. I was like, okay, this brand and branding. I've always been drawn to branding. And I was like, this is amazing. And another network marketing business that I did, I just kind of went off of, just what was possible and the finances that I could gain from it. And that, while I believe that I absolutely could have done network marketing and probably either of those businesses, but knowing who I was called to serve within them. So it's, even in that, you can knowing who you're called to serve will help you fine tune that and know what you could do even in your network marketing business. But I was just kind of like, I was an entrepreneur, a dreamer. I had big dreams. And so I was just kind of like moving around from thing to thing. What am I going to do? And I ended up leaving business and going into traditional church ministry. And I started to learn how to hear the voice of God. And, but it still just wasn't fulfilling. I served, you know, men and women, and just God started speaking to me different things. But I came to this point where both of those things had ended. I wasn't in business any longer, and I wasn't doing ministry. And I was just like, oh God, what are my next steps? I was so frustrated because nothing would work. And I sat down and I asked him, and he just in that moment kind of brought it all together, everything that he had been teaching me in business and in ministry. And he told me that he wanted me to lead women in ministry and lead women in business and stop separating the two of those, that they were to be brought together. And so he began to give me the vision for Oh Free Bird Fly. At that time, I didn't know it was Oh Free Bird Fly, but now it is. But he started to give me the vision, and he gave me a dream one night, and he said, give women the resources they need to do what they love. And so I just started pulling those pieces together. And then I realized that, man, I had been talking about this for years. It was like the thing that I always talked about the most. When I would get with a certain friend, I would just constantly be like, women need the resources to do these business dreams that are in their heart, and they can't do them. And I just was very frustrated that that was not available or out there. And God just continued to just really like even bring up past things. And I started to realize, wow, I really have favor with females. I really have favor with like female leader type, dreamer type women that want to, they're like, there's so much more and I got to do this. And so I just started bringing all those pieces together. But God spoke, lead women in business, lead women in ministry, and gave me the ideas. This is who you're called to. This is what you're called to do. And then I started realizing all the pieces that my past, even in my franchise, I was really drawn to the female employees, and I would minister to them in the back room and talk to them about life and what they're going to do with their life. And you got to have a dream and, all these things. So it's like, you can really go back and see where God brings together all those pieces. But it wasn't until I discovered who I was called to that I came alive. I was made for this. I was born for this. And so forming Oh Free Bird Fly, I, just realized for this business dream of giving women those resources, that I was really called to the Christian kingdom female entrepreneur that wanted to start and grow a business and have those resources that she needed to do exactly what God designed her for and what she loved. And so when I do that, I come alive. And so gaining that clarity on who you're called to serve, it, like Jenna was talking about, it brings alignment, and it really it's like almost like a vacuum. It sucks everything that you were made for into this one place, and you thrive there. You love it, you thrive. Are you going to have hard times as an entrepreneur? Yes. You know why? Because sometimes it's hard. Just like if you are called to a career in the corporate world, you're not always going to love what you do, because you're going to have meaning. You'll love what you do, but you won't always love all the pieces that go into it. And you might have some hard days. So we need to separate those two, of having hard times and actually thriving and loving what you do. And I believe that when you discover who you're called to serve and gain clarity in that area, we were designed to, what he designed us for, you're going to love. You're going to know I was made for this. So maybe you are feeling like, I don't really want to involve God, because what if he calls me to do something that I don't want to do and I'm not going to love it? And I think with that is that you're looking around at other people's callings and businesses and what God's called them to do, that you're looking at another's and going, I I don't want to do that. What if he calls me to that? He's not going to call you that. He's going to call you to what you were designed for. And it's your makeup. It's who you are, and it's in you, and you're going to love it. So we so recommend that you discover who you're called to serve and gain clarity. So we're going to lead you through an activation. And like I said, if you have an existing business, it's okay. Go ahead and do it now. You want to fine tune this now. Spend time discovering and don't rush it. If you're in the dreaming stage, do not skip this step. Don't skip it. You know why? You'll go back and you'll be like, oh man, I shouldn't have skipped that step. And if you skip this step, you're going to have a lot of redos, and it's frustrating. That causes a lot of frustration. This is going to help you know, gaining clarity in who you're called to serve is going to help you know what products or services that you should create for your business. It leads to that because you'll know what problems you need to solve and the solutions that you need to bring. It's going to help you get in front of the right people because you know who you're speaking to, and just that overall less frustration. Okay, so now we're going to jump in to this activation, and we're going to lead you through that. So go ahead and get your activation PDF out so that you can go through these prompts. You ready? All right, so first thing you're going to do, number one in this activation, is that you're going to gather and write down the words or dreams that you've received from God that highlight a group of people that you're helping or you will help. And group of people you're helping is because if you're in a dream, you'll see yourself helping a certain people group. You could have words from other people that have been spoken over your life, or just when I say words, they can be words that you've received straight from God to your spirit, that he's like, you pay attention and you're like, I was made for those people. I was called to those people. So you're going to write down every single people group. Right now, we're just gathering information. Okay. Number two, you're going to write down who you're drawn to and who you have favor with. Be as specific as you can. Okay. So an example would be like Christian moms with elementary school kids. So that, like not all Christian moms, right? But they just they have those elementary school kids. I really have favor with them. They can relate. We have a connection. And so write down that, be as specific as you can. Number three, what group of people do you have a passion for to make their lives better by solving their problems? That was me. I had to solve this problem. It's all I talked about. I was frustrated by it. Who is that people group for you that you have that passion for? You're going to write that down. If it's more than one, write them all down. Okay. And then number four, this is our gathering place. With the information that you gathered, you're going to sort through now. What is the primary people group that the Holy Spirit is highlighting to you through everything that you've written down? If there's more than one group, write those down also. So now we're sorting through and we're identifying that primary people group. You can write down a secondary if there's a secondary people group for you. And then number five, with the help of the Holy Spirit. So you're going to ask Holy Spirit, help me through this. Help me sort through this and really identify who you've called me to serve through this business dream that I have in my heart. So you're going to pull all that information together that you gathered, and you're going to form a statement. And you're going to do this for, if you have two groups that, God really highlighted, you're going to write this. And it's, I am called to serve, and then fill in that people group through my business dreams. Okay. So even if you already have the business dream that you have, you can fill that in too. I'm called to serve Christian moms with elementary school kids through creating a course to homeschool. That could be your business, right? Okay. So that's what you're going to come up with. And I want you to take your time going through this activation. So after this class, you know, you don't need to rush through and do it within 2 minutes. After this class, take some time, even if it's a day, 2 days, a week, if you have to come back to it, let God process with you all the way through until you discover, and you're going to really fine tune. But this is going to help you gain clarity in who you're called to serve through your business dreams. And I'm going to bring Jenna on to answer some of your questions that you have.
Yeah. So if you have not asked a question yet and you would like to, please put it in the comments for us. And I just want to say real quick that these processes are things that took Kimberly and I years to get to the point where we had the answer in this area. And a huge bonus, not just a bonus, something that you can take away from coaching and mentoring is an acceleration to come to that answer yourself. And so I just feel that on this masterclass that you are going to be accelerated in what would have taken you years is going to take you a matter of whatever period of time you're willing to commit and do it. So I see it happening for some within hours, for some it might be days, for some it might be a couple weeks, but it's going to accelerate your process. So if you receive that in your spirit and say yes to that, it's going to happen for you. So I just felt like I was supposed to speak that. But I want to talk about a few questions that we have. Carrie had a question about the how and the when. She really wanted to gain clarity in that area, even though we are talking about the who in this masterclass. So I just wanted to speak to Carrie and say, you know, gaining clarity on who you're called to serve really is the first step, and it's going to help you to know your how and your when. So the other thing is keep an eye out for our next masterclass. It's going to be on mission and vision, because that will cover the how and parts of the when. We also had an anonymous question from a woman come in, and she asked or said, I have all these ideas that serve different people, and I don't know where to start. Can you help me? And we would just love to let you know that, you know, your first step is knowing who you're called to serve in your business. And it's because it's going to help you know what to say yes and no to with all these different ideas. So first off, if your ideas are serving different people groups and you know who you're called to serve, anything that doesn't serve that people group, you know, you're supposed to set down that's a no, because if you would focus there, it would take your time and energy away from the people that you're called to serve and building what you're called to build. And then you can work from there. Come with us for our next masterclass on mission and vision. And then that's going to help answer further questions for you. Once you know who you're called to serve, it's going to help give you clarity on all these ideas that you have for that people group. And I don't see any other questions right now. Kimberly, is there anything that you would like to add?
If you have any other questions, you still can put them in the comments and we will answer them. And so you might be going like, okay, well, what's next? After I know who I'm called to serve, what do I do from there? And like Jenna said, look out for our mission and vision masterclass that we will be having. And that's going to really give you your next steps, because that's the next thing that you need to ask God for. Once you know who you're called to serve, then you're asking God, okay, what is my mission and vision? And that's going to include, what you're going to offer, how you're going to offer it. So that's really going to help you. And another step that you can take is, if you are in a place where you are wanting to start a business and you're really wanting to do it with God's blueprints, you're like, God, help me, lead me along the way, and what and how I'm going to launch my business dreams. We invite you to join us in our Dreaming to Launching coaching course. And you can find all the information at ohfreebirdfly.com/dreaming to launching. And this course is really for just kingdom women who are wanting to start a business. They're wanting to really unlock those dreams and build and launch with God's blueprints and kingdom support. I am your trainer and coach for the course, and Jenna is your community mentor. And we walk alongside you every step of the way to take you from that dreaming stage. You know, you have those dreams in your heart, you don't know what you want to start, or you do, and you need really fine tuning, all the way to building your business with the right foundations and taking you all the way through launching. And we see you all the way through until the end, until you launch your business. So if that's you and you're like, I need that, go to ohfreebirdfly.com/dreaming to launching. And we offer clarity calls where you can, or a discovery call to see if this is a right fit for you. You can sign up there. And Jenna, do you have anything to add on for the Dreaming to Launching coaching course that you want to say?
I'm just really excited for it. Like I said, a huge benefit with receiving teaching, coaching, mentoring from people is that it's going to accelerate your process. So you can choose to do it alone or not with us, but we believe that for Kingdom female entrepreneurs, that this is going to accelerate your process, and it's going to set you off on a solid foundation so that you aren't going to have to go back and redo things, and that it's not going to drag out and take forever to get it going, get it started. So I just believe in the acceleration for you on this course, and we hope that you will join us.
Absolutely. We are honored to be able to serve you and in any way that we can. And again, look out for our masterclass on mission and vision. We hope that this masterclass blessed you, and we know that is going to bring acceleration to you in gaining that clarity in who you're called to serve. And we will see you next time on our next class, Mission and Vision. See you guys later.